Here's an understanding that just came to me. I'm not saying it is the understanding, but it is a understanding. All possible worlds are real. God knows all the possible worlds. The only real possible world that is preordained is the least impossible world. Now, what this would be saying is that contradictions can exist. This is something that I've believed for a long time. Must exist, actually. Both the math and the physics demands it. Maybe not contradiction in the classical sense, but something that defies all logic. The math says that it's incomplete. By definition, it's incomplete. And the physics says you literally can't know the position and the momentum. The more, even beyond that, the more you know the position of a particle, the less you know the momentum. They are, where one exists, the other does not. And not even beyond that, wave-particle duality, you can cope with it however you want. It is clearly a contradiction. It is clearly, very clearly a contradiction. You can say, well, it must not be a contradiction. Yeah, because it exists. Duh. Well, that's what we say about God. But that's beside the point. So the contradictions can exist. And must at some point. Being itself is not coherent in the humane sense. In the human sense. And all the possible worlds really exist. And this is kind of how I've been reading the Old Testament too. When it's talking about you. I mean, at least some of this stuff really happened. At least some of it refers to, in this possible world, at least some of it refers to things that happened in this possible world. How much of it? Not much. Objectively, not much. And the characters, all of the people in there, those are your angels and demons, your spirits, your those, like you're the focal point of the book, and all that stuff is happening to you. The tribe of Judah means praise. The tribe of Levi means togetherness, attachment. Not attachment like in the, oh, I'm attached to my things sense, but like togetherness, like community. And that's where God sits. God sits in the tribe of the Levites, in the togetherness, in the community, right? And when you get into the names, I'd have to go look at my notes, but all the names are like, they mean things. Most of them, some of them you're like, I have no idea what that means. But like Judah means praise, Levi means like togetherness. And even like the other tribes, Canaan means the lowlands, or it could mean like the land of the humble servant, sort of, right? It's thought to mean like it means the lowlands in a very kind of strict sense, sort of, but it means it is thought to mean like this country of the servants, you know, the lowly people. Because the gospel flips everything on its head. Glory is found in love and mercy and sacrifice, and not in power and wrath and the other kind of sacrifice. Wahaha sacrifice. And I think Egypt means Gnosticism, not like Gnosticism, but private revelation. I think Egypt means private revelation. I have to go check my notes. But that's what it seems to mean to me. I forget what word they use. And then like the real, like, and you can even look, I don't read too much into the Proto-Hebrew, but you can look into that and get a little bit more of an understanding of where the people who thought up this stuff might have been coming from. Just don't read too much into it. And I think Egypt means Gnosticism. I think means, well, I don't really have a strong position on that, but you know, like Melchizedek is the king of righteousness, which is the king of Salem, which is the king of completeness, and Salem becomes Jerusalem, and so he's the priest of Jerusalem, who's a priest of the Most High God, and he offers a sacrifice in blood and wine, and then we're priests in the order of Melchizedek. That's why we offer a sacrifice in the appearance of blood and wine. The whole thing is well, at least the Moses parts. The rest of it seems more about like the creation of the world up through Isaac, and at least maybe including Jacob. That seems more about, so it seems like it's like the creation of the world up through Isaac, and then the creation of a nation, the nation, let's call it the nation of people who worship the real Most High God. And then this I haven't explored too much, but this is just my general hypothesis that it's the creation of the world up through, which is the creation of you, up through Abraham or Isaac, and then the creation of the nation, which is also the creation of you, up through Isaac and Jacob and Joseph. And then from Moses on until the end of the first 5 books, it seems like that's you. That's happening in your soul. So it's like the soul of the world, the soul of the nation, then the soul of the individual. And that you're supposed to place the mercy seat in the tribe of community and lead with your praise, but to make sure that your praise is being led towards God, not this way and that way, everybody worshiping his own way, but always towards the most, and not towards idols and false gods, but towards the Most High God, which is a thrice holy being. He appears in 3 beings. He appears as an angel an angel of the Lord, who has the face and name of the Lord, and the Spirit of the Lord, who is also the Lord. And that first, and that the firstborn will be offered up. The basics of the Christian message, and I'm sorry to say that to Jews, you're wrong. Read your own scriptures, read your own Talmud, you're wrong. The God of your scriptures is a thrice holy God who appears as three beings, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and that the least will be first, and that now I haven't found in the first 5 books necessarily that God will be pierced for our transgressions, but obviously the Isaac sacrifice alludes to sacrifice in some sense as some kind of saving